Richard, this is our very original 1960s bathroom.
I've seen a few million of these in my life.
Yeah, we don't use it very often, but I was taking a shower and the shower valve actually came off in my hand. It stripped off.
Yeah.
I took it to the home center. I got a new one, but it's never quite worked right. It actually leaks down in the crawl space.
So it leaks inside the wall.
That's correct.
All right, you know it doesn't match, right?
Yeah. Well aware.
All right, so what you've got here is original equipment to this house. This is called a 3-valve. And if you could see behind the wall, there'd be a hot water line that comes up here and a cold water line that comes up here. Now, there's a stem unit, there's the hot and the cold, and when you turn it, it lets water come into the valve body that's behind the wall. And now it comes to this point called a diverter, and then the water will either come down through the spout, or if you close the diverter, it'll stop it and force the water up to the shower head. Now, many of these brands, you can still get the factory replacement parts, not the wrong ones like I think you got. All right, but what we're going to do is actually, you know where the water shutoff is, right?
I do.
Okay, why don't you turn that off, and I'll go get some tools, and we'll do a little bit of exploration.
Sounds good. All right, Richard, water's off.
All right, good. So I put a drop cloth in here. I want to protect the tub, but I also want to make sure none of these small screws fall down that drain. All right, so now let's just be sure that that water is indeed off. It is, good. Okay, so our excavation begins by taking the handles off. Many times on these handles, there's a little thing called an index that says either hot, cold, or an arrow, but this doesn't. It has these exposed screws. So let's start with your wrong one. Okay. All right, so these are called the escutcheons. These are the correct ones right here. And these are put on clockwise. And so to get them off, you just go counterclockwise. And sometimes it's hard to do. It looks like, see this? It looks like somebody used a big pair of pliers and scored that up. Was that you? Did you do that last time?
It wasn't me, I promise.
Okay, there's one. Oh, that was nice and loose. That might be. This is not right. Look at this. This escutcheon should come off separately from the stem, and this whole thing is turning. That might be part of your problem why you were leaking down inside the wall. Okay, it should have looked like this. Okay, so now let's do the last one. And this one's definitely too loose too. It doesn't have a gasket there. So. Okay, so there's one more to get out. Now, in this case, you could get pliers on it and get right onto that gland, but in many cases, this valve body is way back inside the tile. So they make special tools for this. This is called tub sockets, all the different sizes you might find. Let's try this one. Okay. Come on, there you go. Great. All right. Okay, so here's our cold stem. All right, so all the parts are out of our valve body. Let's see what we got. Oh, good. So, Logan, here is your shower valve.
Okay.
All right? So here's the 3 valves. Here's the new stem you got. Here's the hot, the cold, and here's that diverter. As I mentioned, the hot and cold come this way to the diverter down to the spout. Now, these stems, they all look very similar, but they all have one basic function. This is a cutaway of what looks like. So I do love my cutaways. So I'm going to give you this.
Okay.
So behind the valve body is full city water pressure. This is called the seat. And this stem unit's only job is to make sure this washer holds tight against that seat. So in normal mode, it's closed off and no water goes anywhere. But let me just turn this over, and you can see right here that here's the thread. So now when you turn the handle, it lifts it off of the seat. When you close it, it goes onto the seat. And that's really the only action we need from the stem unit. So it's an important thing to make sure that the water only goes out through the spout or shower head. So you can see there's a gland right here and there's a bonnet right here. Well, between those two parts, you see this right here? There's a little gasket called a bonnet gasket right here, or bonnet packing. And we have to tighten this enough to compress this so that as we move this, water doesn't leak up here, it only goes this way. All right? So that's the basic function. Now, there are hundreds and hundreds of different stem units on the market. Now, I'm going to move this diverter out of the way and look at the comparison right here. This is your original, and this is the new one. Do you see differences?
Well, looks like the threads are a little different here and
Excellent.
here.
That's longer here and shorter here.
And looks like maybe the washer may be a different
Way
size.
bigger here, way smaller here, but it's also a different length. And look at this, the splines are different.
Oh, yeah.
Now there are 20 different splines at least, so you can't just take one handle off of one manufacturer and move it onto another one, okay? So we can find the right parts, the original parts, I'm sure, for this valve body, but I don't think that's what's causing the leak that you talked about
Really?
down at the crawl space. I think that had to do with the diverter. Now the diverter's role is to sit in the middle, and when the water comes from the hot or the cold side, it lets the water in normal operation fall down into the tub spout.
Okay.
But when you turn it this way and close off one port, all of a sudden the water can't go down the spout. It has to go up to the shower head, okay? But if you remember, when I backed off that escutcheon, remember, it was so loose, and it didn't even have a gasket here. I think what was happening is, every time you open hot or cold, the water came this way. Instead of falling through the tub spout, it actually fell right inside the wall and down into the crawl space. Okay. All right. So I'm going to take these original parts and pieces, and since we have it this far back, let's replace seats, stems, escutcheons, handles, and put you back in business.
Sounds great.
All right. All right. So the good news is I found the parts we needed. There was this little specialty plumbing wholesaler that has just repair parts. Perfect. Wonderful. So let's get started. So we're going to replace the seats. Now they come brand new right here, and you can see there's a square inside. So there's special wrenches made for all the different varieties of seats. So let's just be sure I get this in here correctly. Okay. Just give it a little tap, just to seat it. And now they have a special ratchet. All right, so let's put the new ones in. All right, so let's put our new stems in. There's our diverter. Okay, now snug them up with the tub socket.
Okay.
Tight, but not too tight. Good. So now these glands are tightened up, but remember that bonnet packing I was talking about?
Yeah.
Now look at this, see how loose this is?
Yeah.
I don't want water from leaking out right there.
Okay.
So we'll take an adjustable open end and snug up that bonnet. Much better. So we have our parts and pieces in place. The next piece is the trim. Now there's a threaded adapters that'll go inside that bonnet. And that can thread in a fair amount. And the escutcheon also has a thread on the inside so that I can adjust this escutcheon right back against the tile. If it doesn't, I can cut it shorter. So there's where our adjustability is to make sure it's tight against the tile. All right, time for our handles next. These are X-arm handles, so we're going to set them so you can read what label it is, hot and cold. And while I do this, why don't you run down and turn on that main water supply.
Will do.
All right, with that, all the handles match. It looks like it did back in 1960.
Looks perfect, Richard.
I don't have to come back for another 50 years at least.
Well, I hope we see you in Nashville again before then.
All right, my friend, thanks.
Thank you.
You got to give the homeowner an A for effort. He did a lot of work on that house.
Right.
Although he did get tripped up by just the smallest little part.
That's right. So the biggest part of this job is to find the right replacement parts. So sometimes you get really lucky. You look and right on the handles might be the name of the manufacturer. And if you know that, you go out to the home center and again, if you're lucky, you might see a kit like this. And this has got everything in it. So in this kit has got everything you see right here. It's got the 3 replacement handles, the escutcheons, the stems, the diverter, You get even the wrench to pull the stems out of the wall, and the seats. Now, also in the kit is one part that's really important. I didn't show you this in the piece. This little cap thread gasket goes right here, so when you make it into the wall, it makes a tight, watertight seal so it doesn't drip inside the wall.
Beautiful. So you get the parts and the tool.
That's right.
Now, if you pull this out and you don't find the manufacturer's name, what are you doing then?
Well, then you go out to the home center and there's a magic book. It's the greatest. 200 pages, and you take this and you start with the length, and that tells you where to go, and then you match it up, and you match the thread right here and the length and the spline, and it'll say, this is the part you need, this is the manufacturer. And if you're lucky, that part is in a bubble pack right there on the wall. If not, you have to go to a specialty plumbing wholesaler that has repair parts. And there's almost, in every market, there's at least one you can find.
And there's some guy back there who
That's
knows
right.
all of this.
He looks at it and goes, oh, I know exactly what it is.
That's what you want. Okay.
So in this case, we were okay to repair this, but I just want to make one call out that this type of valve is not in favor anymore. You know, it's a 3-valve, so you can mix a little hot and a little cold. It comes out through the shower head, and then if somebody flushes a toilet, there's a drop in pressure and you get completely scalded. And so
once the pressure of the cold goes down, you get too much hot coming through.
That's right. So if they had kids, or if we were doing a new bathroom, because in most jurisdictions you have to have a pressure-bound shower valve. Now, if we're going to replace just the valve, I want to show you, you could open up the tile wall and pull out that 3-valve and pipe in this mixing valve inside the wall. Well, what are you going to do? You're going to have 3 holes, right, where the tile is. So you chip away the tile, and look at this plate. It's so cool. This plate would cover over where those 3 holes were. 1, 2, 3, and it'll hold it.
This
and
one
then
goes in the middle.
Right, there you go. And then that trims over the top, and that's that. So it's the perfect upgrade for a bathroom to make it safe if you had kids.
In this case, that was not necessary. Simple repair, no kids.
right.
Okay. All right. Well, that's why they're writing us, because they get good information like that. So thank you. Thanks for watching. This Old House has got a video for just about every home improvement project. So be sure to check out the others. And if you like what you see, click on the subscribe button. Make sure that you get our newest videos right in your feed.